Okay, dudes. Thought it was a good time. Enough has changed to do an update on my 1/6 scale collection. Everything is together in my toy room, so you're gonna see other things that aren't 1/6 scale that I'm just gonna completely ignore. Sorry about that. If you see something cool that you want me to elaborate on, maybe I'll do another video. But in the meantime, this is just my 1/6 scale collection, and for like the very few people that are watching this that don't know what that means, it means something that would be like 1/6 the size of what a life-size version of it would be. We're starting out with my Alien Hot Toys figures. These always never really get seen. They're hard to display. They're big. I kind of stand them up a little better, but usually when people come in my toy room, I almost feel like they get zero attention and love. Maybe they're not in the best spot, but we got the classic Alien, Aliens 2, the Grid Alien, the Pred Alien. I think that's just a random alien. I'm not sure if that's from a specific movie. It probably is. But Hot Toys, Aliens. So I'm going to scroll up. And there are some things in here that aren't necessarily made to be 1/6 scale, but I consider them 1/6 scale. Like these Halloween kits, clearly they're too small, but they look good enough, so I put them in. Here is the Spirit of Halloween Beetlejuice Gravestone, which I think really goes well with Sideshow's Beetlejuice. I have a lot of third-party custom figures in here, and I'll probably point those out when I see them. That's Torok. It's made by a customizer that I'd rather not advertise because she's a bit of a nut. So, yeah. There's Ash Tot from Indiana Jones. Speaking of third-party things, we got Howard the Duck from Freakland Studios. There's, Brian Mills from Taken. I forgot who made him. Roy Batty. There's Woody Harrelson from Zombieland. All third-party. Third-party meaning not officially licensed. Here's some Mogwais by Neca. Again, not exactly 1/6 scale, but close enough. There's Eric Draven. A lot of people call Eric Draven the Crow. He's not the Crow. He's Eric Draven. That's the Crow. This is a little bit like my unofficial, sort of official Quentin Tarantino section. We got Django Unchained up there, Django and Calvin Candy, both third-party makers. Hot Toys, Aldo Rain, and Hans Landa. And here's the Palisades Reservoir Dogs collection. I do have Joe Cabot, if you can see him. Here are the Ghostbusters figures. Those are by Mattel. I know there's Blitzway made much better versions of them. I hate to say it, but I'm not a big enough Ghostbusters fan to warrant the purchase. And I actually like Ghostbusters a lot. I think their first movie is like 4 stars out of 4, 5 stars out of 5, whatever. And I do like Ghostbusters a lot. I just don't want to spend close to $1,000 on really nice Ghostbusters figures. So these will do for now. Up here, these are really hard to see, but it's like kind of like my James Bond collection, along with some random old school Puppet Master toys by Full Moon Direct. The Daniel Craig is a custom. And there we have the 3 Predators from Robert Rodriguez's Predator movie, which very underrated in my opinion. Since we're up here anyway, let's see. There's Head of the Family, forgot his name. The Good Guy doll, which was exclusive to Shout Factory and Annabelle. We're moving on with the... I consider all the Neca Gremlins more or less 1/6 scale, so you're going to see all of them here. And this is just like my Predator collection, kind of. There's Dutch and Billy from the first movie. And all the Gremlins and all the Predators. And as we go down here... Now, my collection isn't... A lot of people like who have 1/6 scale collections. Their collections are like in D-tops and they're very clean, they're very spaced out. I don't have the luxury of that. My stuff is just... I make room with every little bit of space. You're going to see these like Funko Mystery Minis just chilling in the way. That's just how I do it. Would I prefer them not to be there? Probably, but to me, it's just a waste of space. So I just put stuff where I can fit it. But this is my like horror section. I have horror stuff everywhere, but this is a good condensed version of it. I will point out that Jason Takes Manhattan in the front there is a custom, so I have every Jason, not counting the remake or the fake Jason Roy from Part 5, but I have every Jason from Friday the 13th series. More NECA cloth stuff, Sam and Chucky. I think Chucky fits very well in 1/6 scale, quite frankly. I believe the Jeep the Creeper back there is Majestic Studios. We have the original Sideshow Myers. I haven't updated my Myers. I'm okay with this one. I know a lot of people would be like, I have a lot of issues with it. I don't know. It's Michael Myers. It's a guy in a white mask and overalls. Whatever. That's my 3-0 Pinhead, which is actually a phenomenal figure that doesn't get talked about enough. It's awesome. 2 Hannibal Lecters, both third party. Jack Torrance, third party. A weird company named Subway, clearly a fake company, made him. The Distinctive Dummies made that Pennywise. He's a little dirty. I got him dirty in my old place, unfortunately. There's some Leatherfaces. Probably my favorite slasher. I don't know if that's a weird choice or not, but... And here we go. Killer Clowns. Obviously all customs. If you know anything about 1/6 scale, there's no Killer Clown 1/6 scale figures. And there's Cronin from Hellboy and Albert Einstein. Why not? And we're going down. This is my official, unofficial Lord of the Rings section. The Lurtz is custom. Everything else is either Asmos Toys or Sideshow. Sideshow figures are good, but they didn't really make a whole lot of them. And the Asmos Lord of the Rings figures are just awesome. I just don't have the real estate or, quite frankly, the money to buy them all. So I have a few. The Hobbits, the Dwarf Gimli, or Asmos. I didn't really replace Asmos figures of ones that already exist. Like they made an Asmos Gandalf that destroys this Sideshow Gandalf, but I didn't upgrade it. I just kept the Asmos version. Stuff like that. There's a statue of Gollum or Smeagol that's been kind of a stand-in. Asmos is making Gollum, so this statue will be gone, and I'll actually have an actual figure. I can't wait for that. There's Riddick. I love the Riddick movies. Now we're reaching, there's a little guys here and there that I'm not pointing out, obviously. There's Jack from Lost, stuff like that. This is kind of the Stallone section. I love Sylvester Stallone. He's one of my favorite actors. I have pretty much all his movies. The Expendables, Judge Dredd, Rambo, Rocky. There's Sloth from Goonies in the back. That's a rare figure. Here we go, some Hot Toys, Pirates of the Caribbean, and Baby Doll from Sideshow, Hershey Sucker Punch. She's actually falling. That's why you can't see her, and I don't have the hands to fix it right now. There's Tony Montana. I'm not even a huge Scarface fan. I bought that when I was just buying anything 1/6 scale that I remotely liked, and here he is. But if that came out today, zero chance of me buying it. Don't get me wrong, Scarface is a good movie. It's just not my thing. Anyway, Army of Darkness, Evil Ash, Forrest Gump. These Star Trek figures are awesome. I'm an original series guy. I haven't watched anything Star Trek other than that. That might change. I'm trying to change that, but yeah. Here's Doc and Marty. I know Doc is from Back to the Future Part 2, while Marty's Part 1. Bill and Ted from Blitzwave. If you have these figures, do not have their arms bent at all, because it will rip the rubber. I found out the hard way, so that's why they're not really posed, because they can't pose. The arms will rip. I'm drawing a blank right now, but that's Nicolas Cage from, oh boy. This is bad. It's a great, Con Air. I don't remember the character's name right now, but it's my only 1/6 scale Nicolas Cage figure. I love Nicolas Cage, and this is a good representation of him, I would say. There's the Sideshow Temple of Doom, Indiana Jones, one of my favorite 80s adventure movies. Temple of Doom. Planet of the Apes section. Big fan of the OG Planet of the Apes movies. Here we got Little Penny, obviously not 1/6 scale. Here's some like the Carl Urban Judge Dredd. I really love that movie. Terminator, Kick-Ass, and here we got Hellboy and Abe Sapien. It's like, you remember these names like so easily, and now when I'm filming, I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna forget everybody's name. There's the Michael Jackson Thriller set, Normal and Zombie Michael. Shaun of the Dead, they're there to fight Zombie Michael. The Thomas Jane Punisher. I'm not a comic reader, so I don't know how the Thomas Jane Punisher, I know a lot of people have issues with that. I love the Thomas Jane Punisher movie. There's Old Man Logan. Highlander. I love the TV show and I love the movie, one of my favorite movies. So there's Duncan, the Kurgan, and Connor. Here we go with some Star Wars prequel stuff, which is oddly like a mix of Hot Toys and Sideshow and Hasbro. It's a little bit of everything here. There's Kylo Ren. I bought Kylo Ren and I was going to buy more of the Disney era Hot Toys stuff and I just declined. I was like, you know what? I think I'm good. Here's a custom yak face and a Mataman made by Sky Gun Bro. I'll never forget that name, even though he's made these close to 20 years ago at this point. There's the Metacom Boba Fett. And I have my Star Wars stuff on the bottom shelf, a.k.a. the floor, mainly because of Jabba. Jabba can't go anywhere else, so the rest of the Star Wars crew is hanging out with Jabba. Gotta have the Star Wars stuff together, am I right? I really love the Hot Toys Chewbaccas. I had to get, this is I guess the other Disney era Chewbacca that I've gotten. It's such a marvel of 1/6 scale engineering how they were able to accomplish that figure, in my opinion. So I anytime they come up with a Chewie, I kind of tend to buy it. So far, they've only made 2, thankfully. And Chewbacca is like my favorite character other than Jabba, so it's all good. Hot Toys Boba Fett. I skipped a little bit of this section, so let's go back. There's Logan from one of the Wolverine movies, Blackula, and Screwy Louie made that, Toxic Avenger. And here we go, The Mandalorian. I that's such a great show. I'm not a big Last Jedi fan. In fact, I kind of strongly dislike it. And The Mandalorian just brought me completely back into Star Wars. Here's the Dude and one of the early Hot Toys figures of George Lucas. And here we go, the Walking Dead shelf. All made by 3-0, other than Abraham and the Governor. Those were both customs that I kind of kit bashed. So let's take a trip, hello Boglins, to my final part of my 1/6 scale collection. Now, Game of Thrones is not only my favorite show, it's like my favorite thing. Favorite work of fiction, I don't know. My favorite franchise, whatever. I love Game of Thrones. So they have their own special section. However, there are some exceptions. You'll see what I mean. All these are made by 3-0, except Grey Worm, Davos, and Tywin, which are made by Zensation Studios. I love these figures so much. We're going to get to the weird stuff in a second, I promise. The Hound, one of my favorite characters of all time. Rory McCann did such a great job. The Tormund is my newest one. Great figure. And, of course, the man who started it all. The reason why I watched Game of Thrones to begin with. Sean Bean as Ned Stark. He is such a good actor. And I love Sean Bean, and he portrayed Ned so well. So I have some Star Wars stuff here, just for the fun of it. There's the Child, Wicket. He falls in the same category as Chewbacca. It's just an amazing little figure. He's completely furry and articulated, and it's seamless, and it's just awesome. And here we go, Attack of the Clones, Yoda. And last but not least, my holy grail, my 1/6 scale Howard the Duck by Viola Whitrocker. Wow, can't believe I remembered that. And I have a whole video dedicated to Howard, so if you want to know more about him, check that out. With that said, that's the collection.